Hi my lovelies, welcome into my channel. My name is Rebecca. I am a low income earner. I'm a mum to not a 30-year-old. I'm a 30-year-old mum to a disabled child. I have disabilities of my own. Going through the motions of being a parent, having disabilities and finances. So welcome to my September reset. We're going to be going over August, how the month went. It started off with good intentions. Didn't end the way I'd planned to. Anyway, we'll get into that. It's also a new month, so I'm going to be setting my intentions and my budget for September. I'm really excited to see how far I can grow financially, emotionally, because I do find a lot of my finances are tied to my emotions. I know that's really vague and very materialistic of me, but if you're into astrology, that is also a part of that. My moon is literally my second house, which is money. So that is something that I'm trying to work on. It's something that I'm trying to master, both in a positive way, like I'm trying to use it to my advantage, but I'm also trying to learn and how to kind of tame the negative part of me, the temptation part of me. If you relate to anything that I just said, hit the subscribe, follow me along, and let's get right into the video. Let's jump to the computer. Alright, we're in. This is what August is looking like. Sorry if it's all big and stuff, I need it to be able to see. So the total budget for the month was $2,404.80. I am on Centrelink. If you don't know, I'm in Australia, and a lot of us earn a lot less than this. This is actually probably the most that I've ever earned on Centrelink. $2,400 is my Centrelink, and then I do technically get some Medicare rebate and other little stuff that you'll see. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got Bupa rebates. The Bupa rebates, so I get medications per fortnight, and because I have Bupa insurance through the pharmacy, I get a portion of that back out of pocket. So I think it's about $18.25 that I get, but it's times 2, so I got $36.50 back overall. Medicare rebate, so I am currently doing EMDR therapy. It's currently $240 for per session, and through Medicare, through our healthcare system that we have here, through my healthcare plan, we get usually 10 sessions at a time, and a couple of months ago I was only getting $96 back, but I found for some odd reason, which I'm very thankful for, I'm actually paying it manually instead of them taking it out of my account. Because I'm paying it manually, I'm actually getting more back, so I'm getting a total of $211 back per session. And again, kind of like my medication, I do it twice a month, so I get 2 lots of $211 back, which is $422. And then return refund, those are just clothes that I bought that needed to be returned if it didn't fit or whatever, so that's just what I got back. That's technically not really earned money. None of this is really, I would consider earned money. It's just money that I get back from what I already spent. Does that make sense? Or it ends up being a percentage off or whatever. I still spent the money. It's just I got that return, so it's not extra. Does that make sense? So we have the usual rent and food for $500 for the month, phone bill $35, and I have term life insurance, which is $10.11 a month. When it comes to August, I will say I did eventually do what I had set out to do. I paid $400 off of my student loan, which is awesome, and I did obviously all of my basic expenses and bills and stuff like that. It's just my overall spending, my justifications of taking out of my emergency funds, because I think, oh, I'm just going to put it right back when I get paid next. That's not a healthy reason to spend, you know what I mean? I need to get into the mindset of, if I don't have it in my line item that I've created, I'm not getting it, you know what I mean? Or if I don't actively save up for something, if I really truly want it, then I'm not getting it at that point, you know? No, actually for this month of August just gone, I did only pay 1 lot of $240, because the previous month I had already saved I think I'd done 1 session, and then I was able to set aside for the following first session of August. So then I only had to save for 1 session. You know, I'd still obviously gotten the money back from the previous session, so I put it into this budget. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Medications, $124. That's how much per month I'm paying for my medication. But like I said, the Bupa rebate, I get $18.25 back, so I'm technically out of pocket by $40, something like that. Here's where my spending gets a little off track. Games. I had not budgeted for games, but I bought a game. What did I buy? I bought Peak. Peak for myself and my partner so that we could play together. It's been super worth it, by the way. Very, very cool game. When it comes to savings, something else that I saved up for that I actually got to completely finish finally was my tattoo. I budgeted $700 for it, but it actually ended up being $200 off, so I was $162 out of pocket, which was nice. So I got to put that away. I did end up spending it again. So that seems to be my problem. As soon as I get the money back in, even though I technically spent it. I'm like, all money in, oh, I'm gonna spend it instead of save it. Even if it's $30, I'll still justify that as, oh, it's $30, it's fine. Something that I'm actually starting to realize is like a lot of my spending is like 3 a.m. in the morning when I can't sleep. You know, those are my really bad moments of spending. Like, I will say, you will be quite proud of me. I'm quite proud of me for this. I was so close because I've been looking at getting a new phone, right? And the phone's expensive. I'm not going to say the phone, but the phone is quite pricey. But I wasn't going to say the price, but I will. It's $1,359 AUD, by the way. I got very, very, very close the other morning, actually a couple of times in this last week, to do it on Afterpay. And I didn't. I literally was about to, like, I went into the Afterpay portal and I was about to click continue. And I was like, I thought to myself, is this an actual smart choice for me to make right now, financially? And I knew in my gut, I was like, no, this is dumb. Like, what are you doing? This is not a part of your goal. If you truly want this phone, you save up for it. So one thing that I actually did get to do, which if you saw my TikTok about, like, my student loans, you know that I'm actually starting to pay this off. And I also did do a separate video going into more detail about my student loans and what that looks like. But I managed to pay $400 off my student loans, so I'll put up the current balance on screen of like what it was before I started and what it's at now. So super proud of myself for actually taking the plunge and just doing it, you know. Like, it keeps me motivated, even though it's $400. I mean, to me it's still a lot of money, but it's something. It's getting me that much closer to being completely debt free. Alright, so subscription. So Spotify, Google Storage, that was all fine. Yearly Canva, $165, because I was so sick of getting bothers and being like, you need to pay monthly. I was just, fuck it, I've got the money there, somewhat, you know, in emergency fund. Pay it, and then I'd pay it back when I got paid. And that is what I did, and it goes back to the instant gratification of like, I want it now, I want that instant gratification. It's kind of like I'm trying to trick myself into thinking that it's a good idea when it's actually not. Again, Microsoft Office, I did not budget for that because I forgot that I had it. So my spending overview for the month, 19.8% on debt, 27% on bills, subscriptions, 1.9%, expenses, 19.2%, and savings, 32.2%, which I'm really proud of. That doesn't really show, mind you, because I still currently have $1,000 in savings and that's it. Hey everyone, editing me here. I just wanted to jump in and just like add a few things, because when I filmed this I completely forgot to add the transactions for the end of August and the beginning of September, it's where I kind of hit a wall and I'm like, yeah, I need to take a really big step back and really take a look. And look, some of you might be thinking like, oh, you're probably being a bit too harsh on yourself, but this is a good reflection of like where I'm at. This is why I'm finding tracking and specifically documenting it publicly like this, it's keeping me accountable. It's helping me realize and recognize my patterns in the way that I spend. Let's just go through the tracking. This is for August. There is a lot here, so bear with me. Yeah, so I ended up spending 3 to 4 times on takeaway. Still no more clothes, so that's good, but I did do a couple of chemist stuff here, as you can see. I also did the Guinness World Record because I do technically hold a record, but I don't know if they'll take it because it's not a world record, but they have one of the record that I went for in the US, so it's like, oh well, I'm that in Australia, so let me try it. It was only $5, so $1.80 post office return. I don't have that amount back yet of the returns. That'll be in September's budget. When I went for my tattoo, I also got some IGA like snacks and stuff. Something that I did a short on actually. I bought a 7 chest of drawers, which you actually see behind me in the video, which, don't get me wrong, I love them, but it was not the right choice financially at the time because I did have to take it out again of the emergency fund. Even though it's not an emergency, it wasn't a very smart choice, and I seem to be stumbling into that same pattern quite often. Okay, and then the $68 on Chemist. So I have been on a journey with my skincare. I went to Chemist Warehouse and I got what I could, so that ended up being $68. Right at the very end, 31st of August, it was $80 on takeaway. Alright, let's move on into September. Same amount, the exact same, that's not really going to change. The only thing about this budgeting, I've decided to do it in a way where it's a little bit easier for me to keep track of in terms of like actually budgeting it out. So I'm doing it per fortnight as it comes. So currently this is for this payment that's actually just gone. Rent, obviously, rent and food, $250. Phone I'm going to leave till next fortnight. Insurance I'm also going to leave till next fortnight because it comes out, my phone comes out at the end of the month and my insurance comes out at the beginning of the month. So I kind of do like both at my second payment. Again, EMDR $240, medications $62, hairdresser $50, put $100 into Christmas, and then $125 into car funds. So my car funds, I need to get my car serviced soon, and then I just put whatever the rest was into sinking funds. That's just if I need to buy, like, you know, if I run out of something, or if I suddenly need my daughter's medication or something like that, I've got a little bit of money there. I did pay $200 in my loan though, so that's good. I'm still making headway on that, still proud of myself on that. Moving on to September, I hadn't even been paid yet, so the second, I spent another $25 at Chemist Warehouse for, I think I got a couple more bits of skincare, then $69 at Etsy. I have a handheld gaming PC, and it's literally just like a power pack holder for the device. I got cool $40, and then it was of course USD, so that translated to nearly $70. And then again $23 on takeaway. So anyway, back to the video. I just really want to talk through like why I spend the way that I do. I think a lot of it is, again, going back to astrology, it's, you know, my moon is in the second house, so it's literally material, money, emotional spending, and impulsiveness, and it's also in Sagittarius, so it's, you know, it's that freedom, and it's something that I've always kind of struggled with. I do go through stages of saving a lot of money, and I've really noticed in the last year that I've really struggled with spending versus saving, and like wanting to save but also not having enough money to be able to save as much as I want to. And even though I'm having to put, you know, $50 to $100 away a fortnight, that doesn't seem like a lot to me, and it's not, but I have to remember that it's something is better than nothing. But it's still something that I kind of struggle with psychologically, because I'm like, well, you know, I want to have $3,000 in emergency funds, and then I want to have $2,000 in car funds, and I'm like, I can save that quickly. You know, it's something that I'm striving for, and I think I need to remember that a little goes a long way in the long run. Let me know down in the comments if you've struggled with something like this too. That's the other thing too, every time that I spend, I feel guilty. Even though there's still that satisfaction of that immediate purchase and the feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna get something in the mail, it's still very much that guilt of like, I shouldn't have spent that. Whereas I know, like, if I have a line item, even though I just put that $25 into clothing and I automatically spent it, I don't feel as guilty, because yes, I'm trying to save and I just spent what I saved, but it's exactly what it's there for. It's what I saved it for. Anyway, that is going to be it for my August recap and my September reset. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next month for another reset. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye.